Well, hello again. It's a new season, and aye, the water's, as you can see, probably a wee bit of colour on it. It's in a wee bit high, but it's the best it's been all season so far. I've come down a couple of times just for a recce, but the water's not been worth fishing. You know, the water's far too high, fast, chocolate milk. I had a cast just because a couple of weeks ago, but I'm really just out to see what damage the winter storms have done. A wee bit further up there's a couple of trees being brought down, but we're going to have a look at that in a bit. I'm just watching the water here just to see if anything rises. I'm not getting in the water unless I can see a fish coming up that's worth a cast, because it's bloody freezing. So aye, let's go for a walk. There's nothing here. I've been watching this for a minute or two and I hadn't seen anything. I've got my new rod today. I've bought a wee fiberglass thing over the off season there. It's a max catch something or ultra glass or whatever they call it. Ultra glass, aye. 7-foot 3-weight. It was one of those things. I was thinking about getting one for a while, but it was either spend 40 or 400. There didn't seem to be much in between. So I thought, I'm not buying 400, spending 400, and then it turns out I don't like the fucking thing. So got a wee cheap one, see how it goes. So I've had a couple of casts with it, just out of petulance to be honest, but I want to catch a fish on it and see how it feels. So this is going to be a wee short one today, partly because, as I say, the water's not ideal and it's fucking freezing, but mainly because I forgot to put my power bank in to power my camera, so I've only got about probably half an hour or 40 minutes or so worth of battery, so it's going to be wee episodes. But there's nothing here, so there's nothing moving in there anyway, so I'm going to go up to the pines, have a look in there. It's always worth a cast in there, even if you don't see anything rising. There's always fish along that back seam. So hi, how's everybody doing? Oh, somebody behind me sneezing away. Aye, it's been a difficult close season, I think, because last year was such a complete washout. Nobody got to feel that they had, you know, a good season. Caught some fish. Oh, I'm getting walked at by a big poodle. What was I saying? So it didn't feel like we'd had a season. So when it came to an end, it was a kind of a washout, because the last month of it, for me anyway, was mostly unfishable. Like the October part of the season, we get an extra 28 days for sea trout and salmon, but it was hardly worth a cast, so it just kind of fizzled out. Oh, there you pupper. That's not a happy dog. Anyway, so during the off season, it was just kind of, I bought some new tackle, got a couple new rods. I got this thing, the fiberglass beast, and I got myself a new switch rod, guideline, elevation, 6-piece thing, 6-7 weight. And you know how it is. Try to keep yourself interested. Sorry about this poodle, put its nose right up my backside. I tell you what, I'm going to go off the camera just now. I'll see you in a minute at the pines. Well, we're up at the pines, away from the poodle there. That wasn't happy about me being in its territory. I think it wasn't getting aggressive, but it was making it clear that I wasn't welcome there. So we're up at the pines. Water's still a wee bit high and fast, but we'll give it a go. It's on the lower stretches. This is going to be perfect for fishing for tourists, but up here maybe it's still a wee bit high. But because the river runs through a lot of agricultural land, even though it hasn't rained for a couple of days, it still takes a wee bit of time for it to clear up. It all drains into it up by, well, if you know the river, goes all through the airport, all the fields and all that, But aye, so let's say I've been replenishing my tackle cupboard. So I've got all this new gear I've been desperate to play with, but it's like, I'm not going out just, caught a freak. I'm not going to go fishing just to go out, if there's no chance of me catching anything. So it's been a frustrating start to the season, but it's fishing for you, innit? I think maybe this is still a wee bit too high and fast. But you never know, there might be a fish in there. But I've got a feeling they're going to be sitting under the bank there in that wee, that slow water. But this rod's actually casts quite well, better than I expected. It doesn't feel too different from like just your standard carbon rod. A wee bit heavier, but I still have to catch a fish on it to see how it reacts. But it feels like it'd be a lot of fun with a decent sized fish on it, even a wee fish. But kind of whippy. I had a fiberglass rod when I was a kid, a cheap thing from, you know, one of these blister pack rod things you used to get from Woolworths or whatever it was called. I loved that rod. I went everywhere with that thing when I was a kid. Oh, bit of a wind up. So I'm using a size 12 orange tag daddy, simply because I say it is quite windy and cold today. The water's quite fast. So using a wee tiny like size 16 or 14 that I would usually do, the wee greenwells, it's not going to work. So fish a wee bit bigger than I would like. But once we get up past the Harry Potter bridge, we've got the shelter of the trees there, so we'll maybe be able to downsize a little. The water's too fast here, so we'll go up to Soggy Arse. See, whoops, I caught my camera. Go up to Soggy Arse, see what lakes it is there, and from there we'll decide what to do. As I said, this is just a wee short session today, just to get myself out and get my waders wet. Right, I'll see up at Soggy Arse then. Right, this is just up by the Grotto Bridge on the footpath. There's a tree come down, a huge tree there, you see it's come down and it's blocked the path, so you need to go around. There's a couple of bits like this going up towards the monitoring station. There's a couple of places you can't get by anymore, but we'll see them as we go up. I think I've come out a week or so too early, the river's not quite woken up yet, but we'll go and have a look and see anyways. Now, this is the head of Soggy Arse. You can see there coming down. It's the water is probably about a foot high, a foot too high, maybe a little less, maybe 10 inches or so. And it's a wee bit of colour, but not too bad. Usually in this side of the falls, the water's a little clearer because it gets churned up necessarily as it comes down there at the grotto pool. But aye, I think it's a week too early. We need some sun. You know, it's bloody freezing and the river just hasn't woke up yet. You can see there's no foliage really, there's no insects. I haven't seen any insects at all. It is only like, I don't know, 9 o'clock in the morning, but there's a bitter wind blowing. I've not seen a single rise, didn't really expect to, but there are a couple of lies along here. There's usually 1 or 2 fish will come up, but I've been standing watching this for maybe 10 minutes and not a thing. So I don't think today's going to be a fishing session. I think it's just going to be a river report on the condition of the water and the banks, to be honest with you, which is fine, you know, that's part of the game. A little disappointed because I had hoped after yesterday's Easter Sunday yesterday, it was a lovely sunny day, really dry, and I thought maybe today would be good for I'll try that again. I thought today I would have better conditions, but not to be, unfortunately. There's still obviously a lot of runoff coming from the fields a few miles up, but there's 1 or 2 things I want to show you before I call it a day. So we'll go up to the steps and we'll take a look at what's happened up there. Well, this is the canal pool up by the steps. As you can see here, there's been another tree come down and it's created a new lie here, a new seam. I don't know if that's going to be a new feeding seam for the fish, if this stays here for the whole season or not, but it looks like it's there for a while anyway. Unfortunately on this side of it, on the left side of it, the water's slowed right down, so it's really muddy here, really silty. And this is one of the better pools for wading because it was all gravel the whole way up. fucking aeroplanes. Aye. So I don't want to get too close to that because I don't know how far it comes down. There could be a big ankle breaker 2 feet in front of me. I can't see, the water is still quite dirty. About 40 yards up there's another tree come down that's caused the same issue. I don't know if I can get out here. It's like, I knew this part of the river really well for the last couple of years, but now it's all new. So I hope you can see beyond this. There's another one maybe 40 yards up. So that's going to have created another big silty pool, which is a pisser, because this was the best way to get up this part of the river and be able to fish it, because you can't get down anywhere from the bank until you get to the fall down tree. But aye, what I'm going to do is see my battery. I've got 20% battery left. I can't believe I forgot my power pack. Ah well, there's always something in it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to fish here just now because I don't want to waste my battery. I'm going to take you up to round the corner by the fall down tree and we'll have a look at what's going on up there. The rest of the river further up from that, as far as I can tell, seems to have escaped because there's no big trees up around the airport. It's just along this stretch here. But I'll go and show you what's happened there, and we'll go up to as far as Moby Dick, I think. The battery in my GoPro has completely died, so I'm on my phone, so if there's a change in quality, that's why. So at the faraway tree pool, as you can see, part of the tree is now in the river, so that's that pool humped. You can still get into it here, but how you're going to get a cast out with this behind you is another matter. I don't know if they're going to come and clear it, but it's not on the path, so I doubt it. So that's that pool humped for now anyway. We go up around the corner here, up to Moby Dick. You can just see there. That's the wee raft I would stand on to fish into Moby Dick pool, but that's been almost completely washed away as well. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get down to that until the water's low, because it's a big shelf in there, you know, it goes really shallow, then suddenly takes quite a steep drop, and it's really muddy and silty because it all catches in the corner there. So aye, if you're going to come out to fish the river, I would wait a week or two. It's there's no insect life, it's still freezing cold, the water's too high, too dirty, the path is a big muddy swamp, you know, it's a trudge, even just getting here is exhausting. So it's a shame, but it's only 1st of April. Maybe I'm the April Fool for coming out, but aye, if you've got a season ticket, just sit tight. If you're buying a day ticket, just wait a wee while, you know. I might go up to Pitlochry again later this week if it doesn't rain, maybe next week. I want to test out my new switch rod. It's far too big for here, there's no need for it here. So, but I don't think I'll be back on the Almond for at least a week, maybe a wee bit longer. But it's nice to be out and just see what's going on, you know. I'm going to take a wee trudge up to the posts just to see if I see any movement up there, but I don't think so. I'll just call it a day from there. But as always, thanks for watching, and cheerio and drasta.